Hello my friends. It has been a little bit since I've made a video. This is actually one I've meant to make for a while. And that is why haven't I quit. Especially when it comes to machinima making. I won't really touch on quitting YouTube in this video. So I actually made my channel kind of designed for my machinimas. I know I wanted to make YouTube videos because it sounded fun, but mainly because I want to make machinimas. So starting back in 2013 is really when I started crafting some of these machinima ideas and some of these stories. During those 12 years, which thinking about 12 years and saying I've been attempting to make these stories for 12 years, it feels crazy. But during those 12 years, I've gone close to quitting quite a bit. There's been multiple times I've been very close to quitting. Most of the times, in the earlier times, I would just think, this is too hard for me. I'm limited with what I have. And there's just, pretty much back then, all the limitations and everything were enough to throw me off. And that would be the main push away. Now a lot of those, the limitations, I've tried to understand how I can go past them. And that takes a while to do. So of more recent, when I've thought about quitting, I thought, it'll probably just be many years of quitting. It might be 5. It could be even more. But I always knew at a certain point that I would have to go back because I couldn't deal with never having these stories shared. I had to tell these stories. There's actually one time, and it was within the last 4.5 years, that I had some issues with MCC, and I was just frustrated already with the state of how things were going machinima-wise. But this was kind of the icing on the cake, and the opposite in this effect. But there was a point I got so overwhelmed, I decided to go take a walk. And by this point, pretty newly moved. So I didn't know the neighborhood that well. And I ended up getting a little bit lost. Because I just tried to clear my mind. And it was not letting me stop. I eventually found my way home. So that is the good news of that. So kind of a question that might be asked, and one I just think is important to touch on a video like this, and that's, why has it been so hard? So why has it been so hard? Firstly, it took a lot of learning when it comes to aspects of film, when it comes to video editing, when it comes to thumbnail making, when it comes to pretty much anything, when it comes to machinima making. I had to learn that all. Another massive hurdle, which I touched on in my last video 5 months ago, that's recasting, and it's never a fun thing to do. But you do meet a lot of really cool people and a lot of really great people that way. But it is something that, for me, takes a lot of time because I reach out to all the people because if I didn't, I wouldn't be getting auditions. So I find people that sound good and that fit a role, and I message them. But that's diving into too long. To put it lightly, recasting takes months upon months, because it takes finding people, messaging those people, not getting a lot of people never replying to your messages, occasionally getting ghosted. That one's always fun. Getting people, it takes a while. Another huge thing is Machinima, at least, is not completable by myself. And I'm really bad at scheduling, let alone myself. So trying to schedule to fit things together to make a Machinima is really rough. There's other topics I could totally talk about. This could be a video on itself. Which, if you want that, let me know, but that sounds like a upsetting video to make. But just real life things, real life changes. When I started, I was still in school, and for 4 years I was playing football, which took up a lot of time. It was a huge commitment. And recently I've gotten a few autoimmune diseases that have had tough days with them. Now I want to talk about the times I have thought about quitting and what it felt like. To me, the only way I know how to describe it is it felt like losing or removing something critical. And I had to adjust my head to not think about it, because every time I would think about it, it would just upset me, and it would just be talking to me the entire time. Because this actually leads into the next topic, to the next little point I made for this video, and kind of answering everything. Why haven't I quit? And that's because the love and passion I have for my stories. When I create my stories, I put my whole heart and pieces of my soul into it. I fall completely in love with all my stories, and it just feels like a part of me, and it feeds my soul, if that all makes sense. Lastly, another main reason why I haven't quit is because if my stories can matter to someone or help someone, that would mean the world to me. Because my stories are the way I try to make a positive impact on this world. As I close this video, I wanted to point out a quote that I've thought about recently. It is from a song that I love. It's just always stuck with me. So I'll read it out for you guys. It goes like this. And you can still hear me singing to the people who don't listen, to the things that I am saying, praying someone's gonna heal. And I guess I'll die explaining how the things that they complain about are things they could be changing, hoping someone's gonna care. I was born a lonely single, and I'm bound to die the same. But I've got to feed the hunger in my soul. And if I never have a nickel, I won't ever die ashamed. Because I don't believe that no one wants to know. That song is To Beat the Devil by Chris Christopherson. So, as I finish recording this is a video that I've meant to make for a long time. The thumbnail was actually made a year ago when I started thinking about it, and then I kind of stopped thinking about making this video. It's one that's important, and to any storyteller or creator that might hear this, it's a tough task to tell your stories. And I respect you for trying and for caring and for loving your stories. And I hope that you're able to tell them and that you stay strong during the tough times. To anyone else watching, thank you. Y'all mean very much to me. I love all of you. And I'll talk with you all soon.